I just made it better. What's up, everybody? All right, so it's been about 3 days since I made my video on how I made my own Pokemon event distribution cartridge, and since then I've gotten like 3,000 views and counting and a bunch of questions and comments, so thank you to everybody for the support, and I will get to some of those questions by the end of this video, but first I wanted to share some changes I've made to the cartridge, and one of them is pretty freaking huge. So without further delay, let's just pop this cartridge in and get down to it. All right, so one of the first changes I made was tweaking and renaming some of the event files again. They're not major changes, and it's not all of them, but I did want to be a little more accurate, so what I did was reference Bulbapedia's Gen 3 event list, just to be a little more in line with that, particularly for the Pokemon Center New York events. For example, there was an event file called Sheep and Wolf that I couldn't find on Bulbapedia, but I did see that they gave out Mareep and Houndour during a Pokemon Coliseum tournament, and so I renamed it to reflect that. Also, EX Dragon was renamed to EX Dragon TCG promo because they gave those Pokemon out during the pre-release party for that TCG set. And now for the big one. So if we go over to the wireless only section and check out Eon Ticket, you'll see that I added Emerald to it. You see, the wireless adapter was only compatible with Emerald, Fire Red, and Leaf Green. Ruby and Sapphire had a different method of getting the Eon Ticket, and I had no way of putting that on this distribution cart until now. This thing took 3 hours and 12 versions just to get it to load correctly. No other distribution card I've seen has this, which makes mine the actual ultimate distribution card. See how it loads differently from the others? This is the actual e-reader with the Eon Ticket loaded onto it, ready to distribute. And guess what we're gonna do right now? I'm getting a tingling in my Voltorbs. Sorry. Anyway, yeah, I am not ready to receive mystery gifts in my Sapphire, so we're just going to grab my Ruby version right here, pop that bad boy in and turn it on. And obviously, before you do this, you have to activate mystery events. I do believe I have a video on how to do that. I haven't uploaded it yet, but it's definitely in my library, so I'll probably put that up soon. And so once you go into mystery events, you should be able to, oh my gosh, that music. Wow. So I actually had the Eon Ticket back when this game came out. One of my friends went to E3 and brought me back an Eon Ticket, and another one of my friends who had an e-reader, we just shared that and distributed it. So that's a pretty nostalgic kick. Okay, so it says Eon Ticket delivery in progress. And boom, there you go. And now I have to go see my father at Petalburg Gym. Bam. And this says A to resend or B to cancel. And boom, you can distribute it over and over. That is just amazing. I love it. Okay, now let's see what happens if I just cancel out of this. All right, back to the main menu, and Eon Ticket is still there. It doesn't go away. Perfect. All right, now let's get some other event Pokemon on this thing. Just for the people who maybe didn't see my last video and want to know how it works. I have a couple empty slots, so we can do a few, and let's do all legendaries this time. Make it fun. Let's start off with this 10th anniversary Celebi. And as a reminder, what you want to do on the receiving Game Boy is hold start and select while powering it on. You'll hear that sound. And on the distribution Game Boy, you'll see transferring, and on the receiving Game Boy, you'll just see loading. And then you'll see the Pokeballs come across the screen, and boop, right there, we got a 10th anniversary Celebi. All right, now let's do Wishmaker Jirachi, Coliseum bonus disc. I do have another way of getting this, and I will make a video on that, but I don't think this will affect that. I should still be able to get it, so we'll do it here. Here he comes, boop, Wishmaker Jirachi. Let's go with Toys R Us Mew. I remember for sure getting this one back in the day. And just like that, I'm 13 again. And for the last one, let's do Houston Space Center Deoxys. I remember hearing about this one and wanting to go, but I couldn't. And bow. There we go. I also got these in the mail finally. So they are the Japanese ones, but that doesn't matter because they are region free. So now we can test the wireless distributions. Oh, and as I said earlier, these will not work with Ruby. They will not work with Sapphire. These will only work with Fire Red and Leaf Green or Emerald. So if you have one of those, you're good to go. And we're gonna be using Emerald for this because I already unlocked mystery events in this. So it just makes it easier. It's been so long since I used these wireless adapters. This whole experience is like a giant nostalgia kick. Okay, so if I remember correctly, all of these wireless only events will work for all 3 compatible games, except for Old C-Map, Eon Ticket, and I believe the decoration set. These will only work for Emerald because they weren't programmed in to Fire Red or Leaf Green. Okay, and oh, here we go. Look, Gapier, he is the person responsible for releasing all of the individual events. And so check out his YouTube page and his GitHub if you want to learn more and if you want to actually download them for yourself. All right, same principle here. You're going to go into Mystery Gift and Wonder Cards. Now, I did test this out earlier by giving myself the Altering Cave. I didn't claim it yet, but that doesn't really matter. I'm just trying to show you guys that this works. So we're going to go ahead and hit Receive. Now, you will need to go and claim the mystery gifts in the Pokemon Center before giving yourself another wireless event. Otherwise, you'll just override it. Like right here, it's saying, do you want to throw this gift away? And we're going to say yes. And then it's going to say, are you sure you haven't claimed it yet? And then we're going to say yes again. And with that, it should be able to search for it right now. And bam, there we go. We just got a new Wonder Card. So let's press A and check it out. And right here, we go to the 2nd floor of the Pokemon Center and meet the delivery person in green to receive the Eon Ticket. And there we go. So now we talk to that person, receive the Eon Ticket, and then we should be able to give ourselves another Wonder Card after that. I'm not going to do that. I just wanted to show you guys that this works, and I do in fact have the ultimate Pokemon distribution cards. All right, sorry. I'm still really excited about this. Okay, anyway, now let's get to answering some of those questions. The first one I want to address is the ROM. So the ROM file won't actually work with emulators or with flashcards. So I think it has something to do with the way that it is compiled. It is compiled as a multi-cart, and multi-carts need a specific cartridge to be written onto, one that has something called a mapper chip. All right, so here this is on MGBA, and I'm going to check, let's see, anyone. It just says error unsupported cartridge. And it'll reflash, and you can go and try and pick a different one. 10th anniversary Celebi. Error unsupported cartridge. And let's try one of the wireless ones just to double check that. Error unsupported cartridge. So these will not work on emulators. And here, if we move this over into VBA, it doesn't even load. It just immediately closes out. And then me trying to load it on my PS Vita, the app just crashes completely. And I know it's not that because if I load anything else, like let's say Pokemon Emerald, it'll load. And you will get those same results from flashcards like EverDrive or Easy Flash because again, this ROM file is meant to be used with a specific cartridge with a specific chip. Next up, I want to talk about selling the cartridge. So I did get a lot of people saying that they would gladly purchase one of these off me. And, you know, honestly, that would be a great supplementary income for me, you know, new baby and all that stuff. So I'm definitely down to sell it. And I did a little more research and I did see somebody has their own little version of this on Etsy. They're selling it for like $70, which I think is a little steep. I did see another comment that said $50 would be a good in-between from the crappy AliExpress carts and what the resellers are selling it for. So I agree. I think that's a good price. The only thing is if I put it up on Etsy or any other site like that, the fees that they take out would almost force me to drive the price up. So I'm thinking maybe a system where people can place orders through Discord, pay me through Venmo with the shipping, and I'll just ship them out through there. Right now, I only have the resources to make 19 more though, so quantities would be extremely limited until I can order more. For now, stay tuned to the description of this video and I will eventually add the Discord within the next coming days. Lastly, for those of you asking for a tutorial on how to make your own distribution cartridge, I do have that on my list. I don't know exactly when I'll be making that because I do have videos before that as well as videos I've already made that I need to edit and put out, but I will get to it. In the meantime, I do want to reiterate, as I have in this video and my previous one, that all of the individual distribution files are available through Gapierre's YouTube and GitHub channels. So if there's any specific distribution you want, you can write that to your standard bootleg cartridge, or if you have like an Easy Flash Omega, you can just drop them all onto the SD card to have access to them. Sure, there won't be a dedicated cartridge with their own menu or anything like that, but hopefully that suffices until I can get that video out there. That being said, I hope I answered your questions. I hope you liked this update, and check the description in the next day or so for the Discord link. Peace and love, and you guys enjoy the rest of your day.